give me a brief overview of what the BEC is and what it does?
The Barbados Employers Confederation is a membership-based organization that specializes in employment-related matters. We were founded in 1956, so we've been around for a while, and we advocate for the interests of employers, and we provide them with technical support, so training and advice on HR and industrial relations matters. Yes, we do have confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Barbados, but I'll take a step back to talk about general sick leave procedures in Barbados, which are currently still in place. So in Barbados, we tend to have two types of sick leave. Uncertified sick leave, so that's when the employee just calls in and they say they're not feeling well and they're not going to report for work today. And then we have certified sick leave, where the employee goes to the doctor determines that they're not fit for work, and therefore gives a certificate to that employee to take to their employer, indicating the person will be out of work or should be out of work until the date that is determined by the doctor. So that's certified sick leave. So currently, those two provisions are still in existence, and that is what should be utilized for persons who have suspected, or in the event we get to that stage, confirmed cases of COVID-19. What we are telling employers, though, is that you may have to relax your sick leave protocols. So typically, an employee would send in their sick certificate within a day or two. Given the situation, employers may have to make a decision where they allow persons extra time before the sick certificate is brought in, because it may need to come via a family member, or they can even allow the person to bring it in on their return to work. Relating to the current situation, employers are seeking avenues in terms of remote work, and as they try to employ social distancing in as much as practical for their organizations. So there are some organizations who are able to allow the majority, if not all of their staff, to work from home or work from alternative sites. And those who have the capacity, some of them have started to do that. There are other organizations where that is not practical. So what they are doing is trying to put in mitigating measures. So how do I control the number of persons on site at any given time? Do I change up work schedules? Do I review my opening hours? I know that some high traffic businesses have reduced the number of persons who can enter at a given time. So just trying to make sure that they adhere to those measures for social distancing. The other thing that employers are doing is seeking to ramp up their sanitizing and hygiene schedules. So how do I ensure that my employees, my customers remain safe? So how do I clean more often? What are the best products to use? So those are some of the questions that they're asking as they seek to ensure that Barbadians are protected as much as possible.
You mentioned working from home, remote working. What are some of the other measures that you've seen so far that employers are implementing to try to keep their businesses afloat during this time?
I think I mentioned also changing work schedules. So the idea behind that is if I either have a compressed work week or introduce a third shift, I have less employees on site at any given time. So that's another tactic that persons are employing. The reality is we have a tourism-based economy, heavily reliant on tourism, and some of our hotels, our tourism-related employers, are hard hit by the abrupt end of the cruise season and by cancellations. So what they are doing is trying to see what they can do for their employees. So that may include asking persons to go on vacation, because that way it's paid leave. Some will have to pursue layoffs because they simply don't have the business to maintain their staff levels. But at this juncture, we're not sure what is being done to assist them. The Prime Minister did indicate that she was going to announce those measures maybe later today, so we are going to await to hear about those.
How many businesses that you know about have closed or have reduced their operations so far?
I would not be able to give you a figure on that. I know that many are evaluating options. Most businesses try to keep persons employed for as long as possible.
And is the BEC petitioning government for relief, as others have done in other countries such as the UK and North America?
Well, as I mentioned, we expect the Prime Minister to give us some information on potential economic relief, but I will say that the social partnership is very active and she has been in dialogue with the partners.
And what are some of the opportunities for improvement from businesses that you can see coming out of this COVID-19 threat?
One of the things that is emerging is business resilience. Businesses have been forced to review their business continuity plans, to invest and upgrade infrastructure and technology to make sure that they're more resilient, and that as disasters come from unexpected quarters, that they become more nimble and able to respond to ensure that businesses can survive.